Good morning. It is Wednesday. Welcome to the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. Hey, we're your only online digital news update coming at you at 7:34 in the morning every day. That's right. That's what we're here for. And it re-airs at various times on CBSN Minnesota. And, of course, whenever you want to watch it on Facebook or Twitter, we're here for you. And we're here to bring you shocking news information like this. It's going to be hot. Yep. At noon, hot and muggy. At 4, still hot and muggy. At 8, warm and humid. Very different. Very different. ISO storm. Yeah, well, you know, maybe it'll hit you, maybe it won't. Addie's here to help me in case I don't read something. Thank you, Addie. It's just going to be hot. It's fine. It's going to be hot today. You know what it's going to be like tomorrow? Hot. How about Friday? Hot. Saturday, hot. Sunday, hot. Monday, hot. What happened to like our mid-70s, you know? I don't know. What are you going to do? What you're going to do is complain about it, and what we're going to do is talk about it because the heat and humidity is not letting up, and we love records. Today is our 7th day in a row with high in the 90s, and it made us think about this. This guy, XL Energy guy, sweating. How about sewer repair guy or gal, sweating? How about sign-holding person and sweating? A lot of people have to work outside, right? Or maybe you work indoors, but it's hot. So we're asking for your thoughts. What would be the worst job to work in the heat? Maybe it's the worst job you've ever had working in the heat. But put your thinking caps on. Let's be creative. What are the worst jobs for working in the heat? And we'll read through some of yours in a moment. As always, bonus points for jokes. I think being a teacher in the St. Paul Public Schools might be one of the worst jobs in the heat. They ended the school year abruptly in St. Paul, blaming the hot weather.
Crime was like a chain reaction. It started with some people and then it spread. And then by the end, everybody was just, you know, crying hard.
Okay, Thomas McGevern, this 5th grader. First of all, clearly Thomas could have my job. What a well-spoken kind of, he's just capturing the emotion, right? First mad, then sad. School year's over. No elementary school graduation. No writing hags in your yearbook. No saying goodbye to friends and teachers. Right before school got out, they said, this is it. It's over. Parents did express gratitude for how teachers have handled this unpredictable year, but they say, you know, they are a little frustrated with the district.
I don't understand why the abrupt last-minute decision happened instead of a better plan. I mean, we've been seeing on the news that there was going to be excessive heat this week for days and days and days.
You know, the schools were hot, though. We're told 2/3 of St. Paul schools do not have air conditioning. So they've got the fans and stuff, but some students were experiencing heat exhaustion, others fainting. And the school district sort of had to make a decision. People just wish there were a little more warning. Buildings will be open this week and again on Monday for students to pick up or drop off any materials. COVID-19 vaccinations, we knew they were going to slow down, right? Because at the beginning, everyone who was like, I can't wait to get vaccinated, went and got it done. But it has slowed down to a degree that has kind of government officials trying to take action. They're trying to improve access, so they put this pop-up clinic inside Terminal 1 at the airport. So if you have a flight, you can just boom, get the one and done, and you do it. The state's giving incentives. Number 1 is the Visa gift card. Yeah, more than 6,000 have signed up. The Visa gift, $20 cash, $25 cash. Why wouldn't you take it? Then state fair tickets, then tickets to Valley Fair, and then some of these state park incentives as well. It is a rite of passage for most teenagers. My kid has the behind-the-wheel test in a week and a half here in Minnesota. But new drivers in Wisconsin may no longer have to take a behind-the-wheel driving test. Yeah, they did this as sort of a pilot program during COVID. The State Department of Transportation in Wisconsin let parents kind of sign off, and you could get a waiver and then not have to take the behind-the-wheel test. Yeah, and it worked all right. And so they're saying, you know what, maybe we should continue this. Maybe we don't need the behind-the-wheels test. We don't have enough people to do it, to conduct the test. So let's go. Drivers still need 30 hours in Wisconsin behind the wheel experience, and again, that adult has to sign off. An international sting operation led by the FBI has resulted in the arrest of more than 800 dumb criminals. Yep. They were tricked into using cell phones that came preloaded with an encrypted messaging service called Anam. They thought that this encrypted messaging service would help them evade detection. Except the FBI developed the app, and they got all the messages. So all of the criminals who sent a message, you up, went to the FBI. Phones were sold through the black market. More arrests expected. Look at this video. What's happening in France? Here's French President Emmanuel Macron, and whack! Just smacked in the face by a member of the French public. You think our politics are nasty? Look at that. Macron, let's take another look at it. Ba-boom! Everyone's so bad. Hey! You know what they're all yelling? Croissant! I don't know. My French knowledge is very low. Come on. So this guy gets tackled by a couple of French security guards. Pardon! Pardon! Macron is like, hey, I'm good. Shaking hands. 2 people arrested, face possible charges. Wow, that was a legit wind up and boom too. Pretty soon you're going to be able to store your driver's license right here in the Wallet app in your iPhone. I think this would be very handy because sometimes you need your driver's license number, or sometimes you forget your license at home. For me, when I go biking, I don't like to carry a wallet with me. Some other things you'll be able to add in there, maybe if you have a digital key for your home or a key card for your office, that would be neat. Hotel room keys, a lot of those are digital keys now. Yeah, the driver's license would be interesting. Apple working with the TSA to make sure that the digital copy would be an acceptable form of identification at airport security. Price of a burrito is going up at Chipotle. Chipotle raising menu prices, they're saying by about 4%. I always wonder what that means. Some things maybe go up 7, some go up 1. The company largely blaming this on labor costs, but the reality is food prices have been going up too. Chipotle hiring 20,000 new employees this summer, and they announced, I think a couple weeks ago, they were going to increase their average pay for employees to $15 an hour. And obviously those labor costs, the money comes somewhere, and they don't come from profits. They come from you and me buying a burrito bowl. Minnesota is getting a new women's sports team, and you could be a part owner. This is exciting. It is being described as a pre-professional women's soccer league. It'll start next May. We're not sure exactly where in the Twin Cities the team will play. The name has yet to be determined. There will be community ownership, meaning you can buy in to make some of the big club decisions, like maybe the logo or the colors or the uniform or the name, which would be kind of cool, right? It's called the USLW League. Be a chance to learn more. There's going to be a big launch party for this Sunday afternoon, the Elizabeth Lau Robbie Stadium. That's where the U of M women's team plays on the St. Paul campus. So exciting news. Pre-professional is what they're describing that as. Basically, what that means is it's an amateur league. So there is a professional women's soccer league, no team here in Minnesota. But perhaps if this pre-professional team does well, there's a fan base. Maybe, just like we saw Minnesota United graduate to MSL, you might see this pre-professional team graduate to be a full-on pro team. Pre-pro means amateur. Sort of minor leagues. I don't know. It's maybe the best way to describe it. Christian Cordero told us it'd be a place where D1 college athletes could play in the summer and still preserve their amateur eligibility so they could go back and play in college. So that'll be cool. Let's talk about the heat and the worst job for the hot weather. Oh, Melody, yeah. Summer camp counselor, no AC, bunch of miserable campers. Yep. That sounds awful. Thanks, Melody. Lori, oh, yes. Cleaning in an apartment without air conditioning in a brick building. Lori Erger, this sounds like a highly specific reference. I assume you had that job, like working in a sweat lodge. Oof. So nasty. Thanks, Lori, for that image. Betty says elementary teacher. Yep. You know, a lot of schools have air conditioning, but part of why we've never really gone to full year-round school here in Minnesota is that you have to weigh the cost of air conditioning every building. We just don't have it. Yeah, thanks, Betty. Annette standing on the tarred, yeah, that stop slow sign. I always think of that. Just the sun beating down on the asphalt, and you're just sitting there hoping that no one crashes into you as you hold the stop slow sign. Yeah, thanks, Annette. Appreciate that. Here's a house roofer. Yep, that's a rough job in the heat, right? And prime roofing season is the summer. Oh, yeah. That sounds like a dangerous job regardless. Deneen, an un-air-conditioned restaurant kitchen. Yeah, there are restaurants where you go in the back and there's no AC. Boof. Road work, road construction, not ideal. Agreed, Deneen. Thank you. And here's Linda. The worst job I had was in high school. Oh, Linda, so many Minnesotans have done this, detasseling corn in the heat. They do have machines that do it. That's a rough high school job. Linda, it made you stronger, made you better. You persevered. My worst job in the heat was working on a beer truck in suburban Chicago. One of my best friends, his dad was a supervisor at a Miller distributor in the Chicago area, and my friend Brian got a job driving a forklift in the warehouse, and I thought, like, that's awesome. I'd love to do that. So I went there, and they're like, hey, instead of driving a forklift, what if you were an assistant on a beer truck? And I thought, like, this sounds like a bad job. And in fact, when you see those big beer trucks, they just have cases of beer stacked up in there. And there's no like conveyor system that gets it down. I was the conveyor system. And then you truck it down the stairs into these bars. Oof. I broke a lot of bottles in my 2 days on the job. That's how long I lasted. These are the hands of a TV news anchorman, not of a truck driver or truck assistant. Hope everybody stays cool. Appreciate the comments. Always appreciate you spending time with us here on the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time. See you then.